What's going on, everybody? Get the Raging Rob here. I got just my camera a little bit. There we go. There we go. So today is Thursday, April 1st. First day of the month. First of the month. Everybody get the welfare check? Just joking. But anyway, we have a community alert in Lansing. If you're going to be in Lansing this Saturday for anything, if you work in Lansing this Saturday, alert. Be careful. Been hearing some things. Just put it out there. In no way am I advocating for violence or anything like that. I don't do that stuff. I don't support violence. None of that. But I will say this: on Saturday, this coming Saturday, a bunch of Marxists, communists, they've been known to wave the Chinese flag. They will be taking the streets of Lansing on Saturday, especially in the downtown area, all over downtown. This is about the Anthony Hulon death. Hulon, I think is how you pronounce his name, whatever. He was killed in police custody in Lansing about a year ago. There are several groups involved in a rally for Anthony Hulon. I guess they're meeting at a park in downtown, and they're going to start marching at 1:30 p.m. To City Hall, State Capitol, what have you. A couple hundred people, maybe more, maybe double. This is just on Facebook, a couple hundred strong. It could be double. I don't know the exact numbers, but there's at least a half dozen of groups allegedly involved in this. It's going to be marching to downtown Lansing this Saturday. A lot of these guys are peaceful. Some of them are not. I've actually had contact with a few of these groups in rallies in 2020. And it has a couple of incidents were not pleasant. A couple of them did lead to violence. But we got at least a half dozen groups involved in this. Detroit Will Breathe is allegedly maybe involved. I'm not exactly sure. As well as Rise Up Michigan, which was founded by a Marxist who likes to go on social media on Facebook and slander people. They did the same to me. I was going to take a screenshot of it, but they erased it before I could take a screenshot of it and send it to my attorney. He said some pretty nasty stuff. So, as well as a couple other groups, allegedly maybe Justice for Black Lives, which is another group that was involved in a couple of occurrences in Grand Rapids this last month, which led to several arrests, as well as other groups. So just keep your head on the swivel, patriots. Keep your head up. Do not engage. Be smart. I don't advocate for any violence. I'm just keeping ahead. I'm just putting out alert for anybody that might be in the area of downtown Lansing around anywhere from noon to several hours in. We're talking several hours. They're allegedly going to be in the streets, rallying, marching. They're going to converge onto the Capitol around 4, I'm guessing. City Hall is right across the street. They've been talking about City Hall as well as a couple of parks in the downtown area. So, I don't know all the details, but I've been to enough of these rallies and protests. I've seen violence break out like that a couple of times. I'm not saying that everybody involved in this march is violent. I'm not saying that. But there are some actual Marxists that are involved. Some of these groups have had ties to domestic extremism across not only the state of Michigan, but across the Midwest. Okay? Especially Antifa and BLM. So I just want to give an alert out. Do I believe Black Lives Matter? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. But we have to look at the bigger picture here, okay? Black Lives Matter, the global movement, was founded by 3 Marxist lesbians in order to inflict socialism on this country. This video could get flagged, whatever. If it is, I'll put it on Rumble. But anyway, I understand Black Lives Matter. The movement itself, the movement Black Lives Matter is founded by a lot of local groups. Okay, a lot of local groups they had their own little Black Lives Matter movements, especially here in Michigan. I've traveled the Midwest. I've met several of these groups. I've met several of these groups' members. They're not all violent people. They're not. But you have the few Marxists, communists that interact with these local groups that are violent. So I'm not pointing at the group itself. I'm saying, because I've met some of these members and not all bad. But there's people within these groups that like to coincide with these groups that are not right up here. So you don't know who the good ones are and the bad ones are. That's what I'm basically trying to say. So for anybody out there that sees this and wants to, oh, you've never been to a Black Lives Matter rally. Actually, you know how many Black Lives Matter rallies I went to in 2020? I'll give you a number. Try to guess. The question, how many Black Lives Matter rallies and protests have I been to in 2020? 1, 2? I will tell you the exact number. I'll give you a minute to guess. None of you are going to be accurate. Got a number? 15. I was at 15 Black Lives Matter rallies and protests in 2020. 15. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's probably more than most Black Lives Matter supporters. 15 Black Lives Matter rallies and protests I've been in attendance to in 2020. 15. And guess what? I'm still breathing. I haven't got beat up. Had a couple occurrences that didn't turn out too well, but I'm still here. There's a reason, because I know how to handle myself. I know how to handle myself. I keep my head straight. Okay? Some people can't handle it. Some people just can't handle themselves being on the opposing side, you know? You got to keep your head screwed on, you know? Keep your brain right. You know? All I'm saying is, if you come in contact with these people, especially on Saturday, don't agitate them. Let them do their thing. Don't agitate them. For the most part, if you don't agitate them, they won't bother you. But if you agitate, they'll agitate back, and they don't. Yeah, some of these people are bad people. So, like I said, keep your head screwed up, screwed on. Don't be stupid. Don't engage. Let them do their thing. They have constitutional rights too. You know, and I respect their constitutional rights as long as they're peaceful. As far as the Anthony Hulon situation, I send my condolences to the Hulon family. What happened? I seen that video. That was disgusting. What I've seen on camera. I'm losing respect for the blue more and more. You know, I get this back to blue flag. You know, I bought it, and I've only waved it like twice, you know. But as time goes on, you know, that blue line's getting thinner. Okay. And I'm more and more, I'm losing respect for police. And for those that think that this is a racial injustice system against black people, you're totally wrong. It's a racial justice system against all races. You know, I've done some research, and it's absolutely shocking. We have other countries like Germany, Switzerland, Poland, and across Europe, across the globe. Germany, for example, only had 6 police deaths in the last 10 years. We've had, you know how many people died from cops in 2019? In 2019. Now, I'm not calling any colors out. I'm just saying people, period. Over 1,000. Over 1,000 police deaths in 2019. That is ridiculous. Even for a country with 300 million people. Okay. Do the math. Yeah. The percentage rate. It's still staggering. But if you really want to get into statistics, more white people, almost double the number have died in police custody than black. So while you hear about more black people dying, because the racist mainstream media likes to blow this up. Now, Anthony Hulon was Hispanic. I'm thinking he wasn't black. He wasn't white. I'm thinking he was just. He looks Hispanic. So I'm guessing. I don't know too much about Anthony Hulon, but he looks Hispanic, which I could be wrong. Maybe he was Italian. I don't know, but he looks Hispanic. It doesn't matter. But the mainstream media like to blow this up. They are the real white supremacists. Okay? White liberals are the real white supremacists. Okay? Because they want to try to create a system where black people have to be dependent on white liberals. Okay? They want to overthrow this country. They want to inflict communism. They want chaos. This is part of the New World Order plan. Okay? Why do you think China's got Joe in their pockets? You know, they got hell of a deal with Joe Biden. And a lot of these, anarchists are against Joe Biden. They're against the system, period. Our founding fathers were smart. They were really very intelligent. They knew what was coming. Okay? They knew what was coming. It's like they seen a time capsule and they seen it coming. So they were smart. So I'm always going to support the Constitution, and I'm always going to support my republic. There was a certain amount of groups that marched in Lansing on March 20th. You know what I seen in there? I seen at least two China flags. Seen the Black Lives Matter flag, which that's fine. I have, that's fine. I support Black lives. Nothing against that. It's not the message I'm against. It's the actual what's behind it. Okay. It's how it started. Didn't see one American flag. The only American, no, I take that back. I seen one American flag, and that was only because they were marching past the house that had an American flag on a pole and its property. If you want to get technical, I seen a Trump flag too at somebody's house. And I seen a video, this was on March 20th, where they stopped and a couple of members were trespassing on somebody's property. And the one guy, the guy at the house, he had a Back to Blue sign in his window. And they were harassing him on his property. They didn't vandalize his house or anything, but I guess the guy was in the living room, and the one guy in the video, he said something. I couldn't make out what he was saying because of the muzzle on his face. But in the video, he was like pointing to something and saying something and looking at the homeowner who was inside the living room. And, I couldn't make out what the guy was saying. He had a stupid muzzle on his face. Can't understand what you're saying with the muzzle on your face. I'm sorry, brother. Take that damn thing off. It doesn't do nothing. But anyway, this video's probably going to get flagged. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Basically, what I'm trying to say, they're on his property, and they shouldn't have been. Okay. Marching on the street, if you got a permit, you don't need a permit to march. It's your First Amendment right. I'm saying marching on the street, sidewalk, that's one thing. If you're marching in the street, that's fine. Just get out of the way for vehicles. Be respectful. Okay? Don't be like Paul Bunyan last summer in Lansing. Okay? But anyway, and don't trespass on people's properties. Okay? I don't do that. Don't do that. So, if you are going to Lansing on Saturday, be respectful. Be careful who's around you. Because not everybody that's going has a right head. I've seen the lineup of the groups. And I've seen the lineup of the groups that are attending. And I look at that, I'm like, yeah. I know. So, I'm not advocating for violence or anything like that. I don't do that. I'm just saying, if you're in downtown Lansing this Saturday, be careful. If you work in the downtown area, just keep your head up. Stay alert. I'm just putting out alert. What's expected this Saturday? Well, how many let me see, 14 minutes. So, if you are in the area, be careful. Keep your head up. Yeah, that's it.